they're gonna pay for what they've done. We're gonna pay for what we have done.
Believer, let me ask you a question, man to man, bro.
Go
As
ahead.
the reason why, and this is like my logic. I'm gonna share my logic, my reasoning with you, okay? And don't mock it, okay? Please.
Go ahead, man. No problem.
Thank you. Yeah. The reason why I'm Christian is the fact that the reward of Christianity is much bigger, and is greater than the reward that is found in Islam.
What's the reward?
The reward of Christianity, what Christianity is offering is offering God Himself, bro.
What?
Yeah, Christianity is offering God Himself to the believer.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is to restore the relationship within the human person, the relationship that connects the person to God within, the spiritual life within. It's offering that. Where Islam is offering.
One second. Before you go to Islam, is that offering you God or the reward is set for you? Is that through an Old Testament or New Testament?
It's through the New Testament, bro, because it says grace and truth, and grace came through the New Testament.
Sure. And who set those up laws?
You see, you're not gonna let me. You see, I said earlier, please.
You said
I'm sharing something
me.
With you.
You said don't mock it, right?
Yeah.
I'm asking a clarifying question. I'm asking a clarifying questions now.
Yeah. Say that again. Repeat it.
Who set up the new covenant for you guys?
The new covenant? Christ Himself.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, Christ Himself.
Can you prove that? Can you show me somewhere? Can you show me somewhere?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Which verse are you gonna go in New Testament?
Go to the Last Supper.
The Last Supper?
Yeah.
What's the chapter and verse?
I haven't memorized it, bro. But if you go to let's say.
Do you know the book name at least, or no?
Well, yeah, of course, because it's found in Luke and John and Matthew.
John. Okay. Now let me ask you a few other clarifying questions. Now, was Luke?
Let me find it for you.
I really, I mean, I'm sure I believe you. You said it says in there, so now I really don't care that it says in there or not. What I care about is who writing that. First of all, Luke. You said Luke and John. Now, Luke was a disciple of Paul. Is that correct?
Luke was a disciple of Paul?
Yeah.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Paul claimed to have a vision of Jesus on the road to Damascus. Is that correct?
Yes.
So he never met Jesus in person. Is that correct?
Yeah, in person, no. In person, he was persecuting Christians.
Right. I remember that. Like, he was Saul before that, and then, his parents were Jews, whatever. But testimony, he mentions that he became Christian with the Christians, he became Jew with the Jews, and lawless with the lawless people. So my question to you, sir, is that who gave authority to Paul to write down a new covenant for you guys?
A new covenant? So you're saying that the new covenant was preached and was proclaimed by Paul and not Christ himself?
I think the New Testament, I know for sure, for certain, that 47% of the New Testament is inspired by Paul.
Yeah, because Paul did a lot of the writings of the New Testament. No one.
Right. So my question again is, who gave him the authority to write those things down for you guys today and implement them within the
Christ himself.
So again,
you know something about Paul. You see, the preaching part and going about preaching the crucified Christ Christ chose fishermen, so people with no education, you know. But it's interesting, after his resurrection, he made sure to choose someone who's very learned, who's a scholar, to write the important things when it comes to Christianity and what the mission and the purpose of the coming of Christ into the world was. That's what Paul did, and that's why you find a lot of people dislike Paul, because Paul made it clear what the mission and purpose of Christ wasn't to come in coming
So,
into the world.
so Matthew, Mark couldn't make that mission clarified for you guys, so Paul had to do it.
No, you see, even within the disciples, everyone had a task. Okay, the task was to those who were close to Christ to write about the activities and all the things that he did.
Paul never met Jesus. Paul never met Jesus, according to our conversation just now.
He did meet him.
You don't, dude.
And
We just
he
established
asked him.
that.
He asked him basically saying, "Why are you unaliving me, and why are you persecuting me, Paul?" Paul wasn't doing that, but he was doing it towards the Christians. But Christ told him, "He's like, why are you doing this to me?"
We just established that he never met Jesus in person. You just told me that.
Okay, so according to you, an encounter has to be physical in order for it to be true. That's
So
what you're saying.
according to Jesus, I can pull up the reference for you, but he said, if you've seen me in the form of spirit, you have seen Antichrist. If you've seen me in form of flesh, then you have seen me. Now, Paul met him not in flesh, in the form of spirit. Now, can we say that he met the spirit of Antichrist instead of Jesus? Because Jesus has clearly clarified that for us.
No, that's your.
No, that's not mine, bro. I'm telling you what the Bible says about it.
No,
I'm
no.
not adding anything from my own.
You're adding a lot to it, man.
What did I add? Tell me.
You see, this is the thing.
You're not answering my question. What did I add? You can't even say what did I add, and you're just gonna make a comment without like proving that what did I add?
Yeah, the fact that you're saying that he never met him. That's
Well,
number
you
one.
agreed to it, didn't you? You agreed to that.
That Paul was preaching something that was false. Okay.
No. You agreed that he never met Jesus in person. Do you agree with that?
No, I disagree with it. He met him. He met with him. He had a vision of him after the resurrection.
Hold on. Vision and having meet in person is two different things. No.
Yes and no.
Okay. What?
Yes and no.
Well, dude, stop being dishonest now. I'm asking you clearly again. Did Paul met Jesus in flesh or in spirit?
In spirit, yes, yeah.
Okay. So he never met Jesus in flesh.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why I told you yes and no. I mean, after the resurrection, he had a glorified body, so yes.
Listen, Jesus clearly said. So Paul's testimony said that he saw light. He didn't see anybody. He just saw a light and heard the voice.
Yeah.
Okay. So he actually changes that testimony a few times.
Yeah.
Then he goes on and spreading this message with this false testimony. There's 3 different stories on meeting how he met Jesus on the road of Damascus. What kind of vision did he had? There's 3 separate stories now. So which one is the true one?
So let me ask you something. All of them are true. Let me ask you
How
something.
can they all be true when the people disagree with him, the witnesses?
The disciples, the rest of the disciples, if you're coming with such a big, accusation when it comes to Paul was not alone, independent on his own.
He was.
He was not. You can say as much as you want, but the early Christian community
Mm-hmm.
was
Mm-hmm.
active.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the movement was new. There
Mm-hmm.
was this new Christ that came, and they were very aware because they've read their Old Testament.
Dude,
And
you're just making stuff up now, man.
I'm not. You make it sound as if Paul was
That's so
someone.
funny because
Paul,
you're trying to justify Paul's writing by
no, but
saying all these things.
I know, but you, on the other
They
hand,
got
what you're
refuted. The
trying to
Paul.
do.
Listen. Paul was refuted by the early church fathers themselves. They called him heretic, and then Paul, on the other hand, was making fun of them. He's saying the disciples are super disciples.
You see, yeah, but you see, this is. Can I just finish my thought that I wanted to share with you
But
earlier?
you're not actually putting your thought on the point. What I am trying to tell you
And let me
is
finish it. Let me finish it, and then we're gonna get back to it. Back to this, Paul, because I know you love Paul. I love Paul too. So what I was saying was the the fact that the reward of Christianity is much greater. Okay, when it comes.
fact. And I asked you the new covenant.
Oh yeah. You were
Who
talking about the
wrote
new covenant too.
it? And you
Yeah.
said Paul. And I'm trying to ask you to
We were
justify
talking about.
Paul, but you just can't do it.
No, believer. We were talking about the new covenant. You were supposed to read the verse, but and then you said, "You know what? Never mind. I don't believe. Even if you read it too, you don't believe in it. So there's no point." But what? Your internet connection is bad. Yeah. What I was trying to say was.
Still hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah. What I was trying to say. Yeah. I can hear you fine now. So what I was trying to say is the reward of Christianity is much greater. Ask me why, and I'm gonna answer it directly. In
You already
comparison,
told me about the
no, you
reward.
didn't let me
You already
finish
told me
because
about it.
no, I was gonna compare it. Compare the
You
truth.
said you get a reward. You get God Himself as a reward. Is that right? That's what you said?
Yeah, but then I wanted to compare it to your belief. Okay.
Don't. You don't need to. You already
No.
have your belief. You know what you're gonna give it. Right now, I wanted to understand is how do you get to that part? That's my point. So, sister, welcome back. Now,
Welcome back.
sister, what we are talking about is Paul assigning a new covenant for Christians. And I'm asking him to justify the meeting of Paul with Jesus. And he's running around in a circle. So please, if you want to continue regarding that.
Yeah, regarding what? Regarding Paul?
I mean, I don't know. I kind of missed all of it because I was praying. But
It's
Okay, so what's
regarding
your claim
Paul.
exactly? Let's start from there.
He said that Christianity has a greater reward than Islam.
Okay, that's
on
exactly
the
where
Yeah.
where I left off. That's when I went to leave. So,
Yeah.
what is that greater reward?
Well, I told believer, I'm like the reward is God Himself in comparison to it. Let's say, for example, okay, bear with me. Let's say, for example, we're faced with our judgment. Okay.
Hmm.
The risk on your end is much greater in comparison to mine.
Wait. I'm sorry. What's eternal? What's eternal hellfire?
So not true.
How
You know
how
why
is
though?
eternal